Shalom uvracha to everyone. This is another in the series of Tzedek videos. Tzedek is the theme of our year this year here at SAR. Anyone who's visited SAR recently knows that we are involved in a large building project. We have new classrooms going up. We have new parts of the annex. Very exciting and a tremendous amount of building and creativity. Lots of wonderful things. But seeing all the building also reminded me that one of the themes that the Torah speaks to and Tanakh speaks to very often is that major building projects themselves are a challenge. When we build big structures, when we build infrastructure, when we build houses, when we build tall buildings, that reflects a certain sense of affluence. It reflects a certain sense that we have the resources to build those things. And there's always a challenge in a society which has a tremendous amount of affluence of the gap between the haves and the have-nots, between the people who want to build beautiful big structures and unfortunately sometimes the exploitation that happens along the way. In Tanakh, in Yirmiyahu, Perek Chaf Bet, the text says, in speaking about Yoyakim, one of the kings that Yirmiyahu dealt with, Hoi boneh beito below Tzedek, the one who builds his great palace without any justice, V'aliotav below mishpat, and he builds his great patios without any justice. That he takes advantage of the poor, of the weak, takes advantage of cheap labor, takes advantage of people who are at the lowest rungs of society. Throughout history, whenever there was a tremendous amount of wealth in a society, there was always the potential of exploitation, of taking advantage of others who are weaker, of the poor, of the working class. And that's a challenge that Tanakh speaks to. The great Nevi'im, Yeshayahu, Yirmiyahu, constantly railed against that challenge. And that challenge is the challenge of having a tremendous amount of wealth and using it to build big structures, using it to build big projects, which can be very helpful to society, but unfortunately sometimes on the way that we build and the way that we create sometimes takes advantage. There's a very powerful midrash on the first great building project in history, Migdal Bavel, the Tower of Bavel. The midrash says in Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer, Shiv'a ma'alot hayu lo Migdal. There were 7 steps in the Migdal Bavel. Ma'alin et halevenim mikan v'yordim mikan. And they had a system where they brought up the bricks from one side and brought down the materials that they had already used from the other side. Im nafal adam umet lo hayu samim lev alav. If a person died, if a worker died, he was dispensable. They simply stepped over him. Im nafla leveina achat. But if one brick fell, hayu yoshvim ubochim. They would sit and cry, and they would say, Oy lanu, woe to us, when will we be able? We spend so much time and money. And this midrash speaks to the challenge of sometimes when we have tremendous amount of affluence, how we treat and we use our affluence and we use our resources to build great structures, how we treat the weakest in the society, how we treat other people, do our projects and our, right? Do those things come ahead of everything else? What kind of system? This is not about doing chesed here or chesed there, but what kind of systemic structure, inequities and inequalities do we have in our society when we have great building projects, when we have affluence, when we're trying to create things? How are we making sure to take care of everybody in society? It's a theme that certainly something that we all have to think about as citizens of this country, as people of the world, as people concerned about our own community and the health and welfare of society in general.